BTW jumped 118.1% in the 7 days after our screen flagged it. That's the biggest move of any call this week. Every flag from last week is now fully graded, and some aged a lot better than others. This isn't advice, just the numbers, 7 days later. Here's the full scorecard, best to worst. 57 calls from the screen reached their 7-day grade this week. Every one of these flags is fully settled now, so we know exactly what happened 7 days later. 23 of the 57 moved at least 15%. That's the bar the screen itself uses to call a move. Material, meaning big enough to matter. Let's walk through the standout calls, best to worst. BTW led the pack, finishing up 118.1% over 7 days. The screen flagged it as interesting, and here's the twist. In the first 24 hours after that flag, BTW had actually dropped 20.8%. It looked like a losing call on day 1. By day 7, it was the best call of the week. Up next, UB, up 60.9% over 7 days. It started rough too, down 16.4% in the first 24 hours, before turning around completely. Hash gained 20.9% over 7 days after the screen flagged it as interesting. It also dropped in the first 24 hours, down 28.4%, then climbed back and then some. GLIDR rose 17.7% over 7 days. This one didn't dip first. It was already up 22.9% in the first 24 hours and kept adding to that. Then there's PIEVERSE, up 15.5% over 7 days. This one wasn't flagged for a price move at all. It was flagged because its trading volume was 7.3 times its own typical 7-day level, meaning a lot more people were trading it than usual. It had dropped 21.8% in the first 24 hours, then recovered. That's 5 calls that moved up and cleared the 15% bar. Now the other side of the ledger. Zama slipped 14.2% over 7 days. The screen flagged it because its trading volume looked small compared to its size, about a third of what you'd expect. That's a quiet market flag, not a price spike. Meta fell 18.8% over 7 days. The screen flagged it right after Meta had already jumped 55.9% in a single day and 62% over the week before that. A coin that ran hot, then cooled off. Kaido dropped 26.8% over 7 days. Flagged for the same kind of reason as Zama. Trading volume that looked light next to its size. Dexy fell 31.5% over 7 days. This one was flagged for heavy trading volume relative to its size, and it came after Dexy had already fallen 90.2% over the prior week. The flag caught a coin already in a steep slide. And the worst call of the week? Beat, down 51.2% over 7 days. The screen flagged it right after Beat had climbed 31.5% over the previous week. Flagged near a high point. Then it gave that back and more. Best call, BTW, up 118.1%. Worst call, Beat, down 51.2%. That's the full spread this week, from the screen's biggest win to its biggest miss. Let's look at BTW's chart since it's on screen. The screen flagged, by the way, as interesting on July 30th. In the first 24 hours after that flag, BTW dropped 20.8%. If you only watched the first day, this looked like a call gone badly wrong. That's not where the week ended, though. Over the full 7 days, BTW finished up 118.1%. So somewhere between day 2 and day 7, BTW didn't just recover the early drop. It climbed far past where it started before the flag. We don't have a number for every day in between, only the start and the end, but the shape on screen is clear. A sharp dip right after the flag, then a much bigger climb that erased the dip and kept going well beyond it. That's why, by the way, is the standout call of the week. The 118.1% figure only makes sense once you see it followed a real drop instead of a straight climb from day 1. Now the other side of the week, Beat. The screen flagged Beat as interesting on August 1st, right after it had climbed 31.5% over the previous 7 days. Exactly the kind of move the screen watches for, a coin that had already run up. The week after the flag went the opposite way entirely. Over the next 7 days, Beat fell 51.2%. The chart on screen shows a coin flagged near a high point, then giving back almost all of that prior gain, and then some more on top. There's number 24-hour number for beat in this data, so we can't say how fast the drop started. What we can say is where it began and where it ended. Up over the week before the flag, then down more than half over the week after. That's the biggest move the other way this week, and the honest counterweight to BTW's chart. Zoom out to the rolling 30-day number, which covers a much bigger sample than just this week. Across 199 graded flags over the last month, the screen's interesting or not call matched what happened over the next 7 days 39% of the time. Here's exactly what that means, because it's easy to misread. A flagged coin counts as correct if it moved at least 15% in either direction within 7 days, up or down. It doesn't matter which. A coin the screen did not flag counts as correct if it stayed under that 15% bar and stayed quiet. Both situations count toward the 39%. This isn't 39% of flagged coins went up. It's not a prediction of direction, and it's not a win rate on gains. It's simply how often the screen's call, worth watching or not, matched what the market actually did next. This week's own cohort came in higher, at 44%. 6 coins were flagged by the screen in the past few days. TUT, GLIDR, MCYS, BEAT, and by the way, these haven't been graded yet. We'll have their 7-day numbers next Sunday, the same way we just walked through this week's batch. A couple of these tickers you literally just heard in this episode's scorecard, and that's normal. The screen can flag the same coin again if its trading activity looks unusual a second time. For now, there's nothing to report except that they crossed the screen's threshold in the last few days. Watch for how far they move over the next week, in either direction. That's what next Sunday's episode will cover. We're not saying which way any of them will go. We're just telling you they're on the list, and next Sunday we'll show you exactly what happened, graded the same way as everything else. A word on what this scorecard is and isn't. The screen flags unusual trading activity, a sudden price spike, a thin or quiet market, a fast swing up or down. It doesn't flag direction, and it never has. A flag doesn't mean a coin is about to go up, and it doesn't mean it's about to go down. This week proves that both ways. BTW went up 118.1%. BEAT went down 51.2%, and both got flagged simply for looking unusual. A 39% match rate over 30 days also means the screen's call missed what happened next more than half the time. That's a real number, and we're not burying it. We show you graded results in public, wins and losses both, because that's the only honest way to track something like this over time. This is an observation, not advice. Nothing in this video tells you what to do with any of these coins, only what the numbers already did, after the fact. That's the full scorecard for this week. If you want to see next week's flags before they're graded, and every Sunday's results after that, subscribe. We post fresh flags from the screen daily, and we grade every single one, no cherry picking. Fear and greed sits at 31 right now, in fear territory, so keep that in mind as you look at these charts. No hype, no predictions, just the numbers, tracked in public. See you next Sunday for the next round of grades. That's the first print.